The African continent has had a very funny trajectory, and I think we cannot agree that this has been the trend among all the African countries. There has been a very funny trend in leadership. Africa started on a very good note during the struggle for independence after the European conquests. And after every country would chase the Mzungu, very few countries got the kind of leadership they deserved. And even those that got the kind of leadership that they wanted or deserved, those leaders were over time deposed. Think about, for example, a country like Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. A very good man, very sober. But what happened to Kwame Nkrumah after he became the leader of Ghana? A few years down the line, and he had been deposed. Ethiopia, which was never colonized also, joined in the throng, and Haile Selassie was also deposed in the same manner. A beautiful country of Kenya, not to be left behind, had a particular kind of leadership that was rampant during the post-colonial era of African politics. And these leaders were leaders who cheated and deceived many members of their countries that they represented their interests. And think about it. Kenya was a victim. South Africa, and this is a very interesting one, was a victim big time. Nigeria, Cameroon, Senegal. Oh, they all fell victim to those kinds of leaders. And after those liars took charge, dictatorship also set in. And dictators have taken the longest time to get patched. But there is a new trend that is coming up where now we have populist leaders. In every country, every African country, at first they didn't. The first set of leaders were more of, oh, we represent the interest of the people. We are the people. We are Africans. Africa is our business. We are fighting for Africa. And then came the dictators. We don't care what our people think. We are the leaders, and we are going to rule Africa forever. And then I think they realized that this new way is not. This way is not working, and they started embracing democracy, pseudo democracy. Hiding under democracy. And we have seen various countries whose democracy has ruined the countries forever. And this is Africa. I'm talking about Africa. I'm not talking about the world. Constitutional democracy has failed Africa big time. And let's talk about Nigeria. I'm using examples. Talk about Nigeria. Talk about um, South Sudan. Talk about Sudan itself. Talk about Uganda. These kinds of pseudo democracies that have come up Africa have born a new child. And this new child is populist leaders. Leaders who ride on popular issues. And once they get onto power, they turn into the worst kind of monsters any country doesn't want to see. Yani kumekuja viongozi ambao wanajua kuchocha wananchi na wanapewa votes. And if they are not given votes, they are able to steal votes and rig themselves in through these populist banners. For example, a good example of a leader who was not elected but was able to rig himself in without much questioning from all quarters is William Samoei Ruto, the Kenyan president. He was not really popularly elected, but he was able to rig himself in through the popular. The other country, for example, is Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa was also able to cheat people that he was the people president. The man they have all been waiting for. Zambia is another country that is going under struggles. And I want to warn Africans over this against these leaders because they have nobody's interest at heart. Look at what Kenyans are going through today, and you will realize what kind of a mess these people are going to become. In the long term, these people are going to increase. They are going to get more. They are going to come with all sorts of niceties, goodies. We are going to do this. We will make sure everybody has jobs. We are going to root these bad leaders who have been there out. And then, the moment they get into power, and the catch is, there is no new set of leaders who are coming in under these new banners. It is the same people cultured by the same former leaders. In fact, some of them have been in various positions of power, and now they come to the people with the populist banners, populist ideas, selling populism. And I cry for my mother Africa because I know that most of the electorate are either connived and deceived, or those whose eyes are open get ridiculed until it is too late and there's no going back. I do not know, and sometimes many ask the question of who bewitched Africa. But it is like instead of anything improving in Africa, we are getting worse. Think about a country like the Congo. They have a president, and yet the Congolese government has nothing to stand up for its people. Look at the Ugandans. They have a president, but the president doesn't represent the majority of the people. Look at a country like Kenya, my own very beloved country. We have a leader who doesn't stand any single strand of the people's needs. Africans are dying of hunger. Africans are dying of poverty, illnesses, sicknesses. They have hospitals that have no drugs. They have roads that are impassable, electricity that is inaccessible, internet connectivity that is bad, limited. And our governments are not doing anything to improve the situation. But they have come to us with populism. And this is a very dangerous trend in Africa that is coming up in Africa. I warn you, members of the African continent, do not elect leaders based on their populist ideas, based on their words. Study the character, study the man, study what they have been doing. Be worried because these people are going to mess you big time. Big time. Big time. And by big time, I want you to study a country like Kenya, like Kenya, where it is going to be in the next 5 years. I want you to study a country like Zimbabwe, eh, and tell me where it is going to be in the next 5 years. They may deceive many. They may deceive a lot of people, and they have done so. And more will come, and they will so do. But keep watch, keep watch, keep watch. A lot is coming. Dangerous men deserve. Goodbye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is where all ideas, political, scientific, name it, I always call them. Goodbye. Have all the